Welcome back once again. If you're just joining us, the 5th annual Gourmet and Grapes Culinary Extravaganza is coming up this weekend, the 8th throughout the 10th on Kiowa Island. And it's for a wonderful, amazing cause. The Medical University Hollings Cancer Center, Dr. Carolyn Britton, who leads the clinical trial program at the Hollings Center, joins me now to talk more about the program and how it's going to help make a big difference in saving lives of those individuals who have cancer. Just coming here from the West Coast, or
Yes.
as we call it here, the left coast, and you're with this clinical research at the Hollings Cancer Center. What exactly is that research doing?
So clinical research is research involving patients, trying to work on new treatments, new ways to diagnose and prevent cancer. I do phase 1 clinical trials. Those are the first test of brand new anti-cancer drugs in patients. So drugs have been tested in the lab, and now we're giving them to patients for the first time.
Okay, and then there becomes approval from the FDA and so forth.
Well, there are a few steps in between.
Okay, yeah.
So basically a target is identified in the lab, and then drugs are identified that are going to hit that target and try to kill cancer cells. Once all that work is done in the lab, there are a number of safety tests that have to be done before you can go to the FDA and say, we would like to test this drug in people. Then we do our phase 1 trial, which is a dose finding and toxicity finding study. At the end of the studies that I do, we have an idea of what dose people can tolerate and what sort of side effects they have. Then the drug moves to phase 2, where we test the drug in patients who have a predefined type of cancer with a limited number of prior treatments.
Define predefined, or
we set ahead of time what kind of patients we're looking for each of these trials. So phase 1 will allow patients with multiple different kinds of cancer to participate in the same trial, whereas phase 2 is specifically designed for a certain kind of cancer and patients with a certain number of prior treatments.
Tell me, what if someone had multiple cancers? What would that be as an example?
Multiple cancers are difficult because many of the drugs are being designed to see, are they going to help patients with a particular kind of cancer? So people who have had multiple cancers will sometimes be a candidate for a phase 1 study, or they might be a candidate for studies to diagnose or prevent cancer, secondary prevention. But unless their other previous cancers were treated a long time ago, generally not a candidate for phase 2 or phase 3.
As an example, someone has, a lady has breast cancer. You would be looking for a drug that would go and fight directly at a particular type of breast cancer?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So now with this explosion of knowledge in molecular biology, we're looking at the cancer, see what kind of molecular abnormalities are present in the cancer, and then have drugs that are designed specifically to target those molecular abnormalities.
And what you do and what your team does, they need, there's a lot of funding. This is not done free of charge. There's a lot of funding, and so much of Gourmet and Grapes is going to help you do that research with that. And it's a whole different world what you guys do, because we're driving down the street, we're looking at things, you know, watching traffic and talking on the cell phone, and you guys are in there in the nitty-gritty with the high-powered microscopes looking at these little cells and finding a drug that's going to go in and just kick some butt on those cells, those cancer cells, right? That's kind of much what it is in a nutshell.
That's what we would very much hope to be doing, yes, yes. So the money that is raised is very important because we're an NCI designated cancer center, the only one in the state, and as such, one of our mandates is to translate findings from the lab into the clinic. And those trials require some seed funding or pilot funding to get them off the ground. And so money from Gourmet and Grapes, which will help our clinical trials program, will go to support those kinds of projects.
Doctor, thank you so much. Hopefully they can raise a lot of money this coming weekend and help that research and fight and kill cancer real quick and real soon. Thank you so much for joining us
Thanks
today.
for having us.
Now let's turn it over to Mr. John Bruce.